everyone. My name is Hannah Bothner, and I am the short film program director for Tallgrass Film Festival. Today, I am here with filmmakers from the film Zer0 1 Zer0. Yeah, 010. It was like my dyslexia.
Yeah.
Graham High, who is the writer, director, producer, and Brittany High, who is the producer. And first of all, I want to touch on the fact that you are brother and sister, and that you are
Mhm.
both Wichita natives. Now, did you go to high school in Wichita? Because I feel like the question is always, which high school did you go to?
Right. We also like to make that distinction as well.
Uh-huh.
Like, we're not married, we're brother and sister.
It wouldn't be
So-
appropriate.
But yeah, so we moved away when we were in elementary school. So we went
Okay.
to College Hill, but we were born at Wesley, both of
Me
us.
too. Me too.
Oh yeah,
I
maybe
feel like we've
our
maybe
grandma.
had this conversation before, but
Yeah, maybe.
maybe I've just
Yes,
had that with other people.
Our grandmother was a nurse at Wesley Hospital.
Cool.
So maybe she was involved with your birth. You never know.
Yeah.
Oh,
Never
she
know.
could have been. I don't know.
I'll ask her.
I don't
I'll ask
remember.
her.
I don't remember. So.
You were there? Yeah, oh, you were there.
Well, awesome. Well, it's so great to see, first of all, a pair of Wichita natives. But my very first question, I want to ask what it's like working together in filmmaking as brother and sister. Do you guys fight ever? Is it hard? Is it so much easier because you kind of can read each other's minds, that kind of thing?
I mean, Brittany, I'd like to hear what you think, but I think, we've been making stuff together since we were like teenagers, really. I mean, our first project was like a Blair Witch ripoff,
Cool.
like everyone did back in the 90s, early aughts. And we had a lot of fun doing it, and we've done a lot of stuff ever since. We've done some convention coverage. We've done like running around with a camera and doing interviews, and that's probably when we've had some fights where we're like tired and on our feet, and we're like, listen, let's just take a break.
And in those contexts, I'm the talent, so I'm a
Yeah.
little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Just kidding. But no,
Yeah.
working with Graham's awesome. He's such a great leader, and he is my big brother. And so, especially when I'm working with him on his projects, it's really cool to be able to support him. And that's always my aim, is to support his vision. And, I get my little sister status going. Like, I'm like, Graham, do we need to take a break? Do you need a glass of water? Like, I still take care of him as a person too. And because especially in 010, and I'm sure we'll talk about it, such a small crew. I mean, it was literally just the two of us and then the actors, that we were both wearing tons of hats, and so it was important that we were taking care of each other in that regard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I love working with Graham.
Good.
Yeah, it's great. And I'll just say, just since Brittany was very nice to me, and I got to get on camera so that we should. But Brittany is really great at kind of backing me up, and also she has a great sense of what is good, like what we should be doing. So, there'll be times where, and this happens on this project and other projects, where I'm like, I think we got it, and I'm not quite sure. And, as a director, you're supposed to be like, I know what I got. And Brittany would be like, hey, if you want one more, get one more. Or she would even kind of be like, you know what? I think maybe this. Brittany really is a great collaborator in that way, where she's not forceful, but she's very clear in what she thinks is the right thing to do. So now that we're old, no more throwing toys at each other.
Yeah.
Like it was.
Right. We
a
stopped
little
doing
bit more
that,
expensive.
like 10, 12. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So speaking of wearing lots of hats, what is that process like for you guys? Do you have to, especially you, Graham, on this film, you're writing, directing, producing, and of course you said you had such a small crew. Is that extra stressful? Are you just more concerned about like setting aside these different parts of you to focus on one thing? What is that wearing lots of different hats thing, and what is your advice for people that want to go out there and be the one person show?
Yeah, I mean, it's I think what has been good is that I come from kind of more the doc space, where the crews are smaller, and some ones you're setting up the camera and setting up the boom. So it was a fun challenge, and I definitely think it's worth it if you know the different pieces. I wouldn't say learn the camera while on set, But one of the main things is having an advocate, which Brittany is you can do a one-person shoot. Originally, I was like going to try to do a one-person shoot, and Brittany was like, I'll produce it with you. And I was like, yes, please. Yes. So I would say, know what you're doing as much as you can prep is very important. And two, if you can just find at least one advocate, someone who can help you out. I mean, we had little lights that would go off, and I couldn't do that and shoot. And so having someone to kind of back you up. And also, if you're just looking in the camera and you're not paying attention to performance, just another set of eyes to be like, that was a little weird. Not saying in front of the actors.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely.
Yeah. But Brittany was like the catch-all, script supervising, running, making sure we have meal coming, making sure that we're not running into the street, getting hit by a car, kind of a thing, safety. So Brittany wore tons of hats on this and kind of kept us.
It was holding a boom mic.
Nice. Yeah.
All the hats were stacked up, and then I had the boom mic. It was a
Yeah.
lot, but
And then you could just rest the boom on the hat.
exactly. Yes,
And we got a Kickstarter for the design.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Okay. We'll make sure to put that in the chat.
Yeah.
Link to that. So you, from reading your cover letter with your submission, it seems like you did a smaller crew, especially for COVID reasons. What was filming during a pandemic like?
Yeah. I mean, Brittany, do you want to take the lead on this, or?
Sure. Well, I have a sneaky suspicion that Graham chose me to assist him on this because I was vaccinated. I had just cut that part. Okay. I was so it was just Graham and I. I mean, we kept our masks on for safety, of course. And then we had only 2 actors in a scene at any given time. And even then, when we're not shooting, they're masked. Everyone had been tested. It was very, closed set. No guess. No, I'm being silly, but I mean, we really did take every precaution that we could. And that was really important to us because we knew that, even telling people like, yeah, we're going to shoot a short, and people are like, you know what I mean? But we really took it very seriously. And while it did require us, again, the multiple hats thing, find us on Kickstarter, it was very, it was very cool. And it was a very intimate shoot. And even the lead actor, we can talk about him. He's great. But the 3 of us spending a lot of time together, it was a special time.
Yeah, that's a great segue. I want to talk about your casting process for this, and some really great actors working with, like you said, there's 2 actors in this short's a little over 10 minutes. That's a lot of stuff to carry on just a couple actors' shoulders. How did you cast your film, and then what was the process like for directing them through all of this?
Yeah.
Strangeness.
It was pretty strange. I mean, I think I've had the idea for a while, but I started writing last summer during quarantine. So I was kind of thinking about who I could probably tap on their shoulder, and also try to come up with parts that I think actors would have a lot of fun playing. So I did do improv. It's kind of funny right now. Improv is kind of weird right now.
Yeah.
Live performance. But, I'm part of the UCB community out in LA. So I tapped a lot of people who are in my classes or improv groups. And then we have some really great UCB performers coming in and doing their thing. And some of them, one of them was in Pops that played at Tallgrass last year. So, I just kind of reach out to people I could trust, and they would trust me. And since it was just going to be me and Brittany, we just want to be like, hey, here's a fun role. We're only going to take a small portion of your day, or maybe it's just a Zoom recording, and just try to make it as appealing to everyone, because we didn't want to go through the whole casting and have an unknown person, and maybe someone's like, yeah, no problem, I'll wear a mask or whatever, and they come in and we all get sick.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
so yeah, it was kind of, everything kind of went hand in hand, you know. It was, rather than fighting the pandemic, rather than fighting a small crew, we just kind of try to make everything fit together. Yeah,
Absolutely.
I don't know if that answered your question, but
I think it did. And I want to, you talked a little bit about writing this. When you started writing this last year, what was the spark of inspiration for it? What's the reason that you wanted to write and then make this film?
I mean, I've had this idea, like the thing of waking up in like your crush's bedroom in the middle of the night in my 20s, you know, where you're kind of like, you close your eyes and you're at work, and you close your eyes, you're at the bar with your buddies, and then, you know, you're just kind of lost. And then last year, you know, YouTube gave me a weird algorithm where I'm just getting a lot of bro self-help kind of stuff, you know, all these life hack things. And I was like, oh, this is a cool world to nest this sci-fi world. Like maybe you life hack and you break the program, which is life. So it was great to work with Brittany and kind of, you know, this is kind of heady, weird stuff, and kind of work out a way that we could actually pull it off together.
Well, and funnily enough, I buy into the weird life hacky things. So I was like, this is right up my alley. This has never happened to you before.
I love it.
Yeah, we're in LA, so you know, all of us to some degree, you know, have our own weird life hacky meditation stuff. We have our own manifesting, and it's not a way to poo-poo any of it, but it's just so prevalent. I think it's a fun thing to explore and satirize a little bit.
Right. Especially when it gets to like intense levels, like in the film.
Yeah, right.
I want to ask about like some of the sci-fi elements come through in some like post-production-y things, some the ones and zeros and all of that. I want to ask about about creating all of that.
Yeah. So I'm not like a visual effects guy. This was one of the things, you know, I decided I want to make something that was kind of actiony and sci-fi and with some visual effects. And Brittany and I have done, like I mentioned, some kind of marketing stuff before. And that's when I first kind of dabble in, and, you know, like, ooh, the logo spins out. But I realized you could just buy plugins on the internet. You don't need to teach yourself stuff. So while I was writing, I basically was Googling, I was Googling, so working all together at home. So we're like, oh, cool. Anyways, just Googling plugins and just kind of seeing how I could take stuff that was already worked out and drop it into the script. So Will Cecil did the cool zeros and ones thing, and he came to our premiere out here in LA, and he was like, this is the first time I've seen it used in a narrative thing. Usually it's in a music video or something like that. So it was really fun to have someone who works on it see it used in a story.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys want people to take away from this film the most? There's definitely, you know, a message, even if you're satirizing some things a little bit, but there's definitely a message. What do you want people to take away from the film?
I feel like I've been talking. I'd like to hear what Brittany thinks.
I thought it was I mean, you're talking about satirizing. I guess for me, I mean, I didn't write it, but I mean, my take on it, I think is fun and interesting about it is, you know, this concept of self-improvement. We're always trying to self-improve, and you see him on the podcast and the YouTube and all of this stuff. And I don't know, there's something to be said about that kind of obsession and how it can go wrong in just one night. Just kidding. But Grant, say something more eloquent than that. So
no, that's true. I mean, I think that's a good, yeah, I'm not trying to, it's not a pure satire. I mean, it's something that I think, you know, I don't have like one thing I'm trying to say, but, you know, I think there's a lot of questions I'm trying to bring up. You know, we're all in the soup together. I don't think we even know what it is we're doing right now. Like, I'm just kind of pulling from this alienation we have, and, you know, this question of masculinity, and also the inverse of that is like, I like to think we project a little bit onto Chuck, the main character, some of the problems we have with men, whether it's justified or not. And I try to leave it as open for people to discuss. I have my own thoughts about what I was trying to do, but at the same time, every time I try to do something, it's when it gets preachy and not fun. So
Yeah.
And that's when I'm like, Graham, come here.
yeah.
Don't reveal all the secrets.
Not all of the secrets.
Yeah, not all of them. Yeah. But our main thing was really just have some fun, like really just try some weird stuff and maybe sneak in a couple of jokes and a couple of cool visual effects and entertain people for as consistently as possible. That was our number one goal.
Well, and let's be honest, when we shot this, the way Graham pitched it to me is like, I'm trying to make this project before my baby is born. And we accomplished that, right? And
Yeah.
I just think it's a cool, fun thing to know. Graham now has his baby, it's Graham's baby, but whatever. Yeah. The lead actor, he had just had a baby. And so it's cool as a non-baby person. I didn't have a baby and that it was cool to hear them bond. Graham was about to be a new dad. I mean, you spend a lot of hours on set, even though it's a short film like this. So experiencing them kind of bonding over that. Oh, this is what it's like to have a baby. And Graham's like, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Taking notes. Oh, I love that. The bond of fatherhood.
Yeah.
And somehow I got on it. I'm like, I love it.
Yeah,
all these tips.
Yeah, I'll say here's a tip. If you want to make something but you keep putting it off, have a kid in the near future. They'll make you
Yes, absolutely.
Very responsible.
Yeah, we'll
Put a
make
disclaimer at the
put on
bottom,
a
like
poster.
yes, that too.
Talk to our emerging programmers about it. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys both so much. It was so wonderful to talk with you guys. I feel like I could talk for just absolutely hours with you.
Well, I thought free time. It was really wonderful talking to you as well.
My final question for you both, what else would you like to point people to? Is there stuff that you're working on for the future? Do you have social media or a website that you want people to go and visit you at?
Go for it, Brittany.
Oh, well, I'm always making podcasts. I'm a podcast producer on top of being just a film producer and host and TV and web. Oh, I do it all. But yeah, you can find me at brittanyhigh.com and all the things that I work on. But Graham's the real deal. Quantum Magic. Graham, tell them all your things. Yep. No, I'm going to say it.
Well, I mean, I work as a documentary producer, so I have a couple of docs coming out next year, a doc series, which is very cool. One's for Hulu, about Victoria's Secret. Something a little scandalous and interesting. But, for my own personal passion projects, I'm in this nice space now where I just get to enjoy the feedback from Zer0 0ne Zer0 and see what people think and what people are responding to. And, a goal of mine is to do a feature. So we'll see if I could get that going in the next couple years, trying to be realistic. But you can find me on Twitter. I think that's probably where I make my most dad jokes, at Graham High.
He's a great follow. I follow Graham. He's a great follow.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. Well, thank you. Same to you. Yeah. Follow at Tallgrass.
Yes.
Yeah. Get the updates. Brittany is at, I don't know if you want to do Twitter. I'm so bad at this. Yeah.
Enjoy my non-active Twitter profile. I'm at High.
Well, that's wonderful. And I love the brother sister love and energy here. It's very wonderful. I gotta go grab my brother and go produce a film with him or something.
Yeah,
exactly. You can do it too.
Absolutely. Well, thank you both so much for talking with us today, and thank you all out there for tuning in, and thank you for supporting Tallgrass.
Thank you.